your spouse dies when y'all together, then you receive all of the benefits because it's yours. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Ashley J's. And for those of you who do not know me, I am Ashley J. I'm so happy that you're here to chat with me today. And the topic we're chatting about this very moment is marriage is more than a piece of paper. So before I get started, go ahead and make sure you like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time I'm going to drop a new video. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead, put your boots on because we're gonna get up in this thing. Okay. So may have heard people say this. Marriage is just a piece of paper, or I don't need a piece of paper to prove I love you. That thing makes my blood boil. So, today I'm going to show you why this is a lie designed to destroy the sanctity of marriage. It's a lie, y'all. So, marriage is more than just saying I do. That is just the very beginning. That's the step where you just say I'm accepting marriage. That is just the very beginning of it. And marriage is like way more detailed and so many, it's bigger than just I do. That is, I do is just a celebration about the decision you made to join in a union with the person that you decided to marry. So, just the acceptance, they say whenever you have a problem, the first step is to accept that you have a problem. So, or admit that you have a problem, but you also got to accept the fact that something is not right within you. Okay. So, that's just the first step of jumping into marriage, is saying I do. I accept this other life to be brought into my life. Okay. So that is the very first step. But what we don't think about when it comes to marriage is that your whole identity changes when you say I do. It completely changes because you know why? You go from being um a girlfriend, a wife, a girl, I'll just say a girlfriend. You go from being a girlfriend to being someone who is responsible for another person. What do I mean? Well, the fact that you are going into a union with someone else, that shows that you are changing your identity. You are changing who you used to know in order to become the person that the person in the role that you decided to take. Okay? So, that is what I mean by your identity changes. Your identity changes because of that. You are no longer just um I'll just use myself. When I married my husband, I went from being Hampton's daughter, that's my father. I went from being Hampton's daughter to being Tariq's wife. My roles shifted and my identity changed because I dropped my dad's last name, picked up my husband's last name. My identity changed. I no longer identified as a single woman or somebody's girlfriend or somebody's fiance. I now have the identity of a life partner. I have the identity of a person who is in a covenant with another person for the rest of my life, because marriage is not supposed to be over with just because you're sick and tired of that person. Marriage, you say in your vows, till death do us part. That's marriage. You don't quit in marriage. No matter how hard it gets, you don't quit in marriage. When you were a girlfriend and a girlfriend to, let's say, somebody before you got married, if you're married, when you're a girlfriend, you have every entitlement to quit that relationship, to give up on that relationship, to break up that relationship. But if you are trying to have a kingdom marriage, you don't quit. God never quitted on us. We don't quit on him. And we don't quit on our marriage. If you're trying to have a kingdom marriage, you do not quit. Now, with me saying all of that, I will say yes, there are times when it is a dire need for you to end that marriage, like in abuse. When there's abuse in the marriage, end it. Like that's not you didn't get married for your partner, your spouse to send you to see God before it's your time. So, yeah, leave that. And I'll say even if somebody can't remain faithful, you took these vows and you made a joke out of them. But if all y'all do is just bicker back and forth, and it's let's see what else, it's so many other things that is just so simple, like you forgot to toast the bread the right way, so I'm done with this marriage. No, you don't quit on marriage. It is a lifetime commitment that you made, a lifetime deal that you made, that goes along with your identity changing. When you are just a girlfriend, you just receive the benefits of a girlfriend, which means if that person dies while you're together, you don't get anything. If that person decides that they're done with it, that's it, they're done. If that person that you can have the trips, you can do that, you can have trips, you can go around the world together, but as a wife, you are the person that helps make those decisions of where y'all gonna go, what you gonna do, how you gonna do it too. You're the person that helps make those decisions. You're the person that stands in proxy between your husband and, if you got children, your children. You are the person, you're the in-between person. You are the person that if your spouse dies when y'all together, then you receive all of the benefits because it's yours. You have been entitled to it because you're the wife. You are the one that has access to things that a girlfriend would not have access to. So let's say maybe there's a safety deposit box. As a girlfriend, you don't have the right to go to the safety deposit box to get whatever or put whatever you want in it or take whatever you want out of it. But as a wife, I share your last name. So therefore, all of these secret things that you had when we were just boyfriend and girlfriend are now open for me to gain access to, because my identity has changed. I am your wife. My identity is different now. I'm entitled to get this stuff. I'm entitled to it. I'm entitled. You're not, if as a girlfriend, you can't sway decisions and life decisions and all of that. You don't have that responsibility. As a wife, you have so many responsibilities. So many. So you have different benefits when you are married than when you're just a girlfriend. Is it becoming clear that marriage is more than a piece of paper? I've done a video before about the covenant of marriage. Go check that out because it explains how marriage is a covenant. But this you have to understand that okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take it here. So there is an attack on marriages right now. All you gotta do is look at the news or open up your phone, basically, and you'll see the attack. There's an attack on marriages right now because the enemy does not want to see unions. He doesn't want to see marriage. Marriage is the last thing he wants. He wants people apart. That's why you can't separate for too long. You cannot go without communication and sex for too long, because then you give him a way to get in and break up your marriage. So he is the one that does not want marriage. Marriage was designed by God. Anything that has to do with God, he doesn't want anything to do with it at all. He wants nothing to do with it, and he wants it destroyed. So there's an attack on marriages right now. People that you would look at and be like, oh my God, I never thought they would get divorced, are getting divorced. There is an attack. And you have to understand that this is a spiritual warfare against marriage. But just as many attacks that's happening right now, there is also the same amount of marriages that are happening today. There are people who've been waiting to get married are now being married. I've been hearing since the very beginning, maybe even before the beginning of this year, that this was the year of the bride, which means that there's a lot of marriages that are about to happen. So whenever the enemy is trying to destroy something, God is going to release it on the earth for it to happen, because it's his will. He wants us married. The enemy doesn't. So you have to understand that. You have to understand that. So the moment that you start thinking, I can't do this anymore, try to understand why you're having that thought, and recognize the enemy when he comes into your mind, to make you want to destroy your marriage. When you get married, there is a connection that happens between the two of you that only happens when you're married. So, prior to getting married, my husband and I were living together. And we have a great relationship. But there was a shift once we said I do. Once we signed the papers, there was a shift that happened. And not only did my identity change, but there was a connection that we have that was not there prior to us getting married. So it has to do with, you know, consummating the marriage, having sex after you get married. It's a form of worship. It's an honor that happens once you get married. Yeah, we had sex before we got married, but it became different once we said I do. It was different because a different type of connection was being formed between the two of us, was being structured between the two of us. A different type of connection. Once I can figure out a name of it, I will give you the name of the connection, but I can only describe it to you. We lived together for a couple years before we got married. But once we got married, we got to see each other on a different level, and we had a deeper connection with our souls. So therefore, there is a connection that can only happen when you are married. If I was just his girlfriend, he would have every right. We both would have every right to do whatever it is that we wanted to do. We both do or did. But now, as a wife, I cannot, and as my husband, he cannot do as he pleases. This is a partnership, bruh. We got to talk about this. If you feeling some type of way, you need to let me know so we can have a discussion. We're not doing this, I'm divorcing you stuff. We're not doing it. We both said, even before we made our vows, we getting married to stay married. We're not getting married to get a divorce. We both have seen it in our parents. So we want something different. We made a commitment, not just a covenant, but a commitment with God that we were going to stay married. And yeah, I have told you that we talked about divorcing. I did tell you that. But guess what? We are still married because the connection is there. We can't get rid of it. It is there. We are linked. We're a three-strand cord. We're linked and tied together. We cannot break it apart. And when you become married, yes, it's two people, but once you get married, you become one. You literally become one. And we become one because that's how God designed it. Marriage was designed to be a reflection of God's love for his church. And in order for it to be a reflection of God's church, God wanted to be one with his church. So that's why he created marriage to be for two people to become one. And I'm gonna show you in the scripture where it explains the evolution of going from single to becoming married. So Mark chapter 10, verses 7 and 8. So a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife, and the two will become one body. So there are not two, but one. That shows you the evolution of marriage. A man, a woman they decide to get married. They become united, and now they're one. They are one. They're one. You have one body, you have one mind, you guys become one. And it is a fight to remain one. That's why you see people giving up. But if you have the Holy Ghost, if you have the Lord with you on your side, when you get married, it'll become much less of a fight and become a necessity. It is a need. I need my husband. He needs me. We need each other. So stop all this talk about marriage is just a piece of paper. Marriage is way more than just a piece of paper. And you have to realize that and understand again that it is an attack from the enemy. We good? Y'all get it? Y'all hear me? Okay. Leave a comment below and tell me if you believe marriage is more than just a piece of paper. If you like to chat about this, then head over to my website. It's ashleyj.com and book some time with me. And make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time I drop a new video. All right, y'all. Until we chat again. Bye.